Our last section is angle relationships, and we're given some theorems, and it's kind of hard to understand what they're saying right here when we're just reading them. It'll really help when we get down to some examples. So the first thing is we have a circle, and there's a tangent line that goes across, and then a secant line that goes through. So what happens is we make an angle between those two lines, and then there's an arc measure right here. And the theorem says that the angle is 1/2 of the arc, or the arc is double the angle. And that happens on both sides. That could be this angle and this arc. So that's our first theorem. Our second theorem is when we have two chords that go in a circle and they're not through the center. So they make angles that are the same. Like this angle equals this angle, and then the other two equal each other because those are vertical angles. So what happens is those angles, I'm just going to do these two. The angles are the same, but the arcs are not. The arcs are different, and you can see it more. Maybe I should have gone the other way. Right here. This arc is definitely not equal to that arc, right? But the angles are the same. But there's a relationship. That's why there's a theorem. So the theorem says if I take the angle, that equals 1/2 times the two arcs added together. And that happens every time, so it's called the theorem. So we're going to use that property. And the last property we're going to do is when we have two secant lines, or sometimes even a tangent line. There's not a picture of that one here, but you'll see it on your homework or on your self-check. When those two secant lines go through, they create this exterior angle. And in the process, they create two arcs inside the lines. And one of those arcs is smaller than the other one. So here's a formula I like to write that exterior angle is 1/2, and there's a larger arc that's on the outside, and we subtract the smaller arc closer to the angle. So we subtract those two lengths and then times by 1/2, and that is the degree of our angle on the outside of the circle.